Well, you've heard from Abbey, outstanding contribution LGBT life plus life in Britain, award winner. Yes, this is all thanks to him and his contribution to the LGBTI plus community, especially those people from Africa. We have many awards. We have hello, our viewers. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for watching. My name is Mebo Nalwoza, your host. Once again, Conversations with OPAL. Happy Pride Month. Thank you for being with us. Today we have a special guest, our founder, one of our founders, Mr. Abbey Chiwanuka. He's going to be telling us about Out and Proud. What is OPAL? What does OPAL stand for? How did it come to be? What does OPAL do? And his achievements. First of all, I'm going to start with congratulating him for winning the Outstanding Contribution to LGBT plus Life British Award. Thank you so much, Mr. Abbey.
You are welcome.
And thank you for agreeing to come to be with us today and sharing with our viewers. Kindly introduce yourself again.
All right, my name is Abbey Chiwanuka. I'm originally from Uganda. I was born in Tanzania, but I grew up in Uganda. I've been in this country since 2003, October. And of course, I ran away from my country because it couldn't give me protection which I wanted. And I came to England thinking everything was smooth, but it surprised me. Everything wasn't as I was expecting it to be. I had to struggle to be with the person I am today. One of the founding members of Out and Proud African LGBTI, previously known as Out and Proud Diamond Group. I've attained some academic qualifications. I've got a diploma in social work. I've got a degree in politics. I've got a master's degree in international relations. And I've got a master's degree in law, which is LLM, specializing in human rights law. My universities, Middlesex University, Utrecht University, Netherlands. Today, our offices are here in Brockwell, Lido. If you come to 19 Contemporary Learning Center, it's a nice building. That's where our offices are. We also meet every Saturday in West End, Soho, at 56 Dean Street. We also meet for social GAY pub in Soho.
Congratulations again. You recently just won the award, the British award. What do you think has led to this? Because it's a big award. It's very big in England.
For us, it wasn't about winning an award. For us, it was about doing what we wanted to do and support members in our community. How it started, it started in 2010 when Uganda introduced the anti-gay bill, and we started campaigning. Personally, at that time, I was in detention. While I was in detention, I observed loads of injustice because the government wasn't there to help asylum seekers. The government was there to deport as many as possible. When I left the detention center, so they sent me to a place called Radcliffe. That's in Manchester. So I was the only black person on the street of Radcliffe. Barry Street? I can't remember the street, but the place was called Radcliffe. I think it's like 2 hours walk from Manchester City. It was a white place. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have no money. The government gives you like £35 a week, food, transport, and everything. So I used to walk from Manchester, Radcliffe to Manchester Centre to meet up friends. And most of the time I used to jump on, was it Metro? I think it was Metro, yeah. And then I didn't have no money to pay. I often got fined by the inspectors. But eventually they stopped finding me because I explained to them that I was an asylum seeker and I couldn't afford transport.
And you had to get back home.
Yeah. And they became friends. We became friends, and most of the time they just left me. I could explain to the inspector before I jump on that, oh, can you take me to Radcliffe? I'm skinned, I don't have no money.
Wow, that is an experience about your. So how did you think to come up with OPAL, like set up this platform where many people are getting support?
Yeah, I did my interview in Manchester in 2010, and of course I knew I was going to fail it because not failing because I wasn't genuine, but failing it because the law wasn't on my side. We had the discretionary test. For those of you who don't know discretionary test, it was more like proving to the government that you couldn't pretend to be straight to avoid persecution in your country. So in other words, they used to tell you, oh, go and pretend you are not what you are so that you can avoid persecution. The discretionary test was so hard. So the hurdle was so high to jump. So I knew for sure I'm going to fail. And then when I received my parcel, I wasn't surprised. I saw what I had expected. But I knew I was going to appeal. So I had to leave Manchester and come back to London. And then I spoke to a friend of mine, Dr. Iwan Macmillan, who lives in central London. So he gave me a space where I could sleep. And then he started taking me to workshops, taking me to organizations to speak about my life in England and my life in Uganda. But I concentrated more on my life in the UK, my life in detention center. I had to explain.
Why was that?
I mean, people didn't know about detention center. Many journalists were not allowed to enter the detention centers. There were a lot of inhuman, degrading treatment in detention center, but no one could talk about it because the people who would have talked about it were detainees or former detainees, and we are so scared about it. Because I know most of us in Africa, we think to win, we have to appease the oppressor. So no one could come out to talk about the UK government for fear of being deported. So pretty much I was one of those people who started talking about the ill injustice in detention center. And often, I think it was the Guardian newspaper who picked on the story, and then they sent their undercover journalists, working as those officers, detainee officers, and they documented everything. I won my asylum case or appeal, and then after winning, I realized that there were many people like me who were going through a lot of injustice in this country. Kind of like I started gathering them to come together. It was like social. There were a lot of homophobia in our community. We didn't have a safe space. And we wanted to come up with something special, like a social group to have fun, to chill out. Personally, it was more like doing something which I wanted to do, doing something which took away the depression, stress, anxiety. And we started it in the park. Fortunately, it was summer. Come together, eat together, socialize, especially on weekends. And I think that was the start of probably the movement.
So how did you come to be a big group, a big charity organization, which is currently including many African LGBTI asylum seekers?
To remember, because when we started a social group, come together, have fun, organize house party. I think we spoke with a friend of ours, Peter Thatcher. He connected us to many places like GAY, Dean Street, Cuba. So luckily for us, we got offers from all those places. that you guys can come and chill out here. We thank Jeremy, GAY. He gave us a space in GAY where we could do whatever we wanted to do on Saturday. Dean Street, they gave us a space where I could meet. And mind you, initially it was kind of like a social group, but every day people were coming to join us. And other part of us was like kind of campaigning for the homophobic laws, like the bill which was in Uganda, the anti-gay bill. We had another bill in Nigeria. So most of the time we were campaigning, demonstrating peacefully. But we realized that there are many people who didn't have legal status to stay in this country, people who identify themselves as LGBTI. So it was unfair for us to start campaigning for the rights of LGBTI people in Africa, like Uganda, Nigeria, when we had LGBT people from those countries with us here in England. So we had to concentrate more on people we were with in England, like the asylum seekers and undocumented people. So every day, people used to call us to come, something which started as a social group. So we started helping other asylum seekers and refugees to integrate in the country. Initially, it was basically it was like a social group for Ugandans, yeah. But then we started getting people from other countries, Nigeria, Cameroon, Senegal. And then we say, okay, we need to come up with a name. We need to formalize it. So we came up with a name called Out and Proud Diamond Group. I think that was in 2014. We registered as a company initially. And then we spoke to Peter Thatcher, who gave us a space, an office. We thank him so much for that. And then we started inviting lawyers, HIV campaigners to come every Saturday to speak to our members. We started visiting. At that time, we used to have fast track. Whoever applied for asylum, they were detained. So we used to visit our members in detention center, Yazwood, Hammondsworth, and many other detention centers. And we used to escort them to the courts. And people started winning their cases. Yeah, and one day I went to Netherlands to visit my friends in Netherlands. And what I found there was so bad. Many people had waited for 10 years. Many people were out of the procedure on the streets, homeless. I spoke to my friend in England, the way we can support them, because they didn't have any support. The organization in Netherlands, which was there, the umbrella organization, is called COC, but it's a white organization. And it's something which we realized in England, that we didn't want to be backdrop. We didn't want people to talk for us. We wanted to be the head, but not the tail. And when I went to Netherlands, it was still the same thing. I mean, white people were talking for the black people. So I organized my friend. We had guys like Moses, Walusimbi, they had Ugom, Uganda Gay on Move. So I started visiting detention centers from Dronten, Armel, and speaking to those people to form up a group, like to challenge homophobic system. And one time, a friend of mine, Father Anthony Musala, I spoke to him, and then he agreed to go to Netherlands to speak to those people. So we went. So we started moving from one immigration camp, they call them as they say, to another, so that we support those people. So we came up with another group. Our group was expanded, so we called it Out and Proud Netherlands Chapter. And then started supporting those people as well. I came back to England, and I was at the Middlesex University, and because it was so costly for me to commute from London to Netherlands every week, so I decided to speak to my university to do an exchange program. So I applied at Utrecht University, one of the best universities in Netherlands. So they admitted me on exchange program. I think it was 1 year. So I went to Netherlands to start studying there and living there.
Well, that is such a great contribution to the African LGBTI community, and it is much appreciated. Now, our viewers would like to know. Well, we've heard of Out and Proud Diamond Group, how it came to be, what it is right now. So, what are some of the achievements? Because we've seen many awards have been given, and what are the other achievements which have led to these awards?
To see that people we are supporting, we are getting protected. And then coming up with those other chapters, like the French chapter, we had a group in Paris supporting African LGBT in Paris, in Sweden, in Netherlands, in Denmark. And in 2015, I think we were shortlisted at the National Diversity Award. And the same year, NAS, which is one of the leading HIV organization in the UK, gave us an award for MSM of the year. That was in 2015.
So how does it come to be a charity organization as well?
I think it was in 2016. We said, okay, we need to formalize this. We need to become a charity. I mean, in England, since we are refugees, asylum seekers, we needed something which was going to make people believe that we are unorganized people, like or community organization, and the only way was registered as a charity. By the way, I had members from African countries, especially those countries where homosexuality is still a criminal offense. Countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, Cameroon, Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Namibia. So we had many members from different African countries. So we registered as a charity in 2016.
Me, as being a part of this group, a member of Out and Proud, I understand we are one big family. We are very, very, very many people. Yeah. And over the years I've been around, I've seen many people come, others, well, they come and go. And do you have like a number, or do you know how many people?
Since we registered as a charity, so we've worked with over 700 LGBTI people from Africa. For us, luckily for us, no one has ever been deported. Yeah.
So, Mr. Abbey, in regards to the people you support in Out and Proud, what categories do they fall into? Which kind of people is it?
Mostly because our group is an LGBT group, refugee and asylum. So basically we support refugees and asylum seekers who are from those homophobic countries. So countries such as Uganda, Namibia, but we've got like countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, Kenya. So we support people who are running away from those countries. And my day, these people have gone through a lot. They've experienced homophobia in their country. Some are victim of rape, collective rape, like members from Namibia, South Africa, who have been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. We've got members who have suffered a lot. Some who have been to prison in their country because of their sexuality. And again in England, because not every person arrived in this country, they just come to the organization. Some stay in the country for years without any support. And those people who come to us and they've been in this country for a while, some indeed have gone through rape. They've been raped in this country. We've got members who have been in domestic, like domestic servitude. Yeah, they are looking after people's kids in the house. They don't allow them to go out. So we've got members who applied for asylum, but they were not represented well, or didn't get proper representation, and then they failed their asylum, and they absconded for fear of being deported, and they found themselves in criminal activities as the only way to survive. I put them in prison. They come out, and yeah, we've been supporting them as well. We work in partnership with other charities which can support them financially with accommodation and other basic necessities. Yeah, those are the kind of people work with, and we make sure that that when someone come to our organization, we make them feel comfortable. Yeah, we create a safe space where each and everyone is free to talk about whatever they want to talk about. We create that friendship, that trust. We explain to them our stories, and if they hear about our stories, they gain kind of a bit that trust that if I went through the same thing which they are going through, yeah, they are encouraged that, okay, if I manage to overcome it, they can as well overcome it. So we create a safe space where everyone is free to talk about themselves. We don't force or compel someone to talk about themselves. No. Yes, we've got members who are still in that process, yeah, gaining confidence, self-esteem. But there are others who are confident enough to talk about themselves. To put them on Facebook, YouTube, and all that, to share their experience, because we believe someone came to us having seen our YouTube video of a member talking about his life in England. So they contacted us. They came to us. We started meeting up with them, and when they returned to those families they are coming from, the family started threatening them that they are going to deport them if they apply for asylum. But because of the confidence that we gave them, they didn't listen to their family. They applied for asylum and they were granted asylum. So today, I think that person is in education studying. Normally, we don't impose projects on our members, but member come up with a project, like dance project, like we exist t-shirt project. And when they come up with such project, we identify other organizations who are going to support us. For example, when member came up with the We Exist project, we had to speak to the Gaswork to support us to fulfill that dream of that member or our member. And big up to Gaswork. They sponsored our workshop. And it went huge. Today, our T-shirts are well known, probably all over the world. Mostly, those homophobic countries, they know that We Exist T-shirts. With dance project, we've got members who come up with dance project, and then they started dancing. Again, we identify people who are going to support us to fulfill that dream. We organize asylum workshops. But what we do is to invite lawyers. As I said earlier, we've made loads of friends in legal, in medical, in every field. So if we organize a workshop in regards to mental health, we identify people who are going to facilitate it. If we organize asylum support workshop. Again, we speak to our lawyers who come and facilitate those workshops. Yes, some of the lawyers accept to record them, and we record them, put them on our YouTube. Other lawyers, they don't want to be recorded, so we respect their decision, and we don't record it. But yeah, we make sure that whatever a member comes up with, we try as much as possible to it might be like food and food workshop, or train you how to cook, exercises.
And you've told us there's a lot going on. There's a lot that you do. There's all these workshops and all the gatherings. How would you manage? How do you sustain the organization?
But yeah, as we became bigger, it was kind of like stressing. We needed some money because we had members who wanted to attend, they couldn't afford transport. Yeah, we're a bit lucky because number one thing, we don't rent where we meet for the social. GAY, they gave us a safe space. Dean Street, we thank them so much for the years they've supported us, accommodated us without paying them even a single penny. We meet in Central London. I mean, so expensive if we were to rent it, and we don't know if we would have afforded it. We've got some funds from African Advocacy Foundation. Big up to our friend Dennis. He has supported us financially. We've got Peter Thatcher Foundation as well. They've supported us. We've got Rainbow International Solidarity Fund. Paul has been with us for years and years. We have friends like Jacob, Joyce Jacob. They've supported us so much in regards to finance, or Big Lottery Fund. We don't have any paid staff, so we depend on the volunteers.
There is a lot that happens during the summer or from the summertime. So Mr. Abbey is going to be telling us about all the events which are prepared or set to come for this year. And you're all welcome to come and join us.
So the events. So yeah, our group is Out and Proud African LGBTI. The reason we named it Out and Proud because we wanted to be out and proud. And you can't be out and proud when you're indoors. Yes. We are built on that principle that people are happy to be who they want to be without any fear of any repercussion that who is watching who. This year, unfortunately, for the last 2 years, we cancelled our social because of the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. But this year, everything is back. So yeah, starting from next week on Saturday, we'll be attending the Pride London. We've got Amsterdam party on 17th. If everything goes as planned, it will be in Amsterdam on 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. So we've got like a beach party. We've got another Pride which we don't want to miss, the Brighton Pride, because after March, we go to the beach and chill out with friends. We've got house party. We've just had one, but again, we are planning another one. And if you're outside there and then you have a big house and you would like to give it to us for a night, please contact us. We have a boat cruise party in September. Endeavor to come if you're outside there. We have weekly social gathering in GAY, Soho. Yeah, if you happen to be in London, pop up in basement on Saturdays from 5 to 7, and then you'll find a bunch of people having fun there, enjoying themselves, playing their own music, having fun, drinking, and sharing their experiences. So yeah, those are some of the functions we have. You can go on our website and see more, which I have left out.
Okay, thank you, our viewers. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being with us. You've heard about OPAL, Out and Proud African LGBTI Organization. We are here for you, those of you who who would like to join us. We are one big family. You can just come and be with us. You'll find a safe place. You will all be welcome. It doesn't matter where you come from. For those who want to join us for our parties, as you've heard, we have a beach party coming up. We have a boat cruise. We have an end of year party. We're going for Pride. We're going to be moving as one family together. And come and join us for all our moments. We have gatherings at 5016th Street every Saturday, and we have our evening gathering at GAY Basement Club. And from there, we usually go to the park where we still have a lot of fun. So you're all free to come and join us. Stay tuned in. Well, you've heard from Abbey, outstanding contribution LGBT life plus life in Britain, award winner. Yes, this is all thanks to him and his contribution to the LGBTI plus community, especially those people from Africa. We have many awards. We have this one as well. I don't know if you can see it from there.
That's National Diversity Award.
National Diversity Award. We have, other awards. As you've heard, Out and Proud is big, and it's growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're looking out for you, and we're waiting for you. We're here to support you, and you're all welcome. Thank you for being with us. Stay tuned in. Please follow, like, and share. You can find us on our Facebook. We have Instagram, even on Twitter. You just type in Out and Proud African LGBTI, and you'll get to see what Out and Proud is all about, what OPAL is all about, the things we do, and you're free to come and join us. Thank you. Thank you, Abbey, for being with us today. It's been such a pleasure. I think it's going to really make a big impact for people to hear directly from you. And we really appreciate all your efforts and all your support and your empowerment and coming up with such a platform for many, which has supported many. And I believe everyone is appreciative.